Welcome, everybody. We're going to get rolling now, pun intended, after a fashion. So if our team can join us. Excellent. So welcome to an edition of Roll the Dice. It's our first virtual edition of Roll the Dice. We used to perform live, but we're taking the safe route now, and we're not doing that. Instead, we're bringing our production to you via YouTube, live from our homes. We are, however, doing socially distanced shows at Big Canvas at Blackstone Commons, which is located at 3624 Farnham in Omaha, Nebraska. And those shows are Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Tomorrow's show will be Omaha Game Night, which is a lot of fun. It's a competition, friendly competition between performers. And that show will be done safely. And we do have a protocol manager on staff who will make sure that everyone is being safe. So that is going on at Big Canvas tomorrow night. But for tonight, we are all in our homes bringing you funny. And how our show works is we use a 20-sided die, which I will show you real quick now. We use a 20-sided die, and we roll that die, and then whatever comes up, we'll match up with our list of games, and we'll play those games randomly for you, and it will be a lot of fun. But to get started, let's introduce everyone. I am Jess Kent, and with us also are...
I'm Josh Fairchild.
Mark Richter.
Ben Webb.
And I'm Tracy Mock.
Excellent. And that's our cast for tonight. We'll be having a lot of fun and playing a lot of games. So what I have done is I've put in the chat, which is only visible to me on this team right now so that nobody else can see the suggestions, a request for some suggestions of objects, places that are not geographical, and interpersonal relationships that people might have. That's just to get us started. We may ask for some other things throughout the show, but having those suggestions to start with will help because our YouTube channel is on about a 20-second delay, so it's kind of hard to ask for those things in the moment. We'll also be using a random phrase generator from time to time, which will help us out if we need a suggestion in the moment and we haven't asked for one, which might happen. So to get started, we're going to roll the die, and I will share the screen again. 15. And 15 is a game called Foreign Expert. So I need 2 people, and then everyone else turn off the camera. Who do we have? We have Mark and we have Josh. And who's going to be our foreign expert? Raise your hand. Looks like it's going to be Josh. So Mark will be our translator. And I have forgotten to ask for something. I need, as quickly as you can, a subject that Josh will be an expert in. Let's get those suggestions in the chat. And additionally, once we've gotten our suggestion of something that our person's going to be an expert in, then we'll need a bunch of questions to ask our expert. So first, let's see what people are coming up with. And I'll explain a little bit. What's going to happen is Josh is an expert in something, but he doesn't speak English. He does understand it, but he doesn't speak English. And he's going to give us his answers, and Mark will be the translator. So we have painting. I saw painting first. So Josh will be an expert in painting, although he won't be Josh. He's going to introduce himself in just a moment. So great, everybody, we're going with painting. Let's see some questions that you would have for an expert in painting. So first of all, our expert, thank you very much for joining us. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Luca Wagsten Fubaga, Morgenstag.
Says his name is Pete Larovich, and he is pleased to be here.
Well, Mr. Lorovich, thank you for joining us. I understand you are a very, very good expert in painting, and I appreciate that you've come to talk to us about that. Can you open with just a quick introduction of what brought you to learn about painting?
Schwa, flasche bagababa, shwi, flasche babada, wash my work.
He said one time as a child, when he was out walking, a bird flew over and a bit of something fell in his eye, and he believed it to be paint. So ever since then, he has felt that he is blessed by the gods with the ability to understand painting.
Excellent. I've heard that's good luck. Wonderful. We have a question from the audience. The first question is, what type of ink do you use?
Schli, Lupenstaka Fusta, Florska Borta Norsken, Lipaduka Schnufa Fafo.
He feels like ink is inferior for many reasons, and he only uses paint even when he's inking things.
Okay. I have a question. Why do you only paint headless people?
Luka Papa Fusha, Schna, Schafma, Schnafa Schmufa Fla.
He's bad at painting noses.
I understand. I think noses are probably my best thing. So I understand, though, I can't do eyes. So everyone has their strong suit. What is your favorite color?
Dushka Baba Dushka da Bamboshka da Loba, Kusta Vasta Gumba, Snuka Basta Uka da Ba Lomba Gata Hushka Ba Subimba Blah.
Green.
Green. Green is my favorite color as well. What type of paper do you use?
Nope.
He feels like a cotton hemp blend is the preferable thing because of not only the absorption, but also because of the way it reflects the light, particularly with oil-based paints.
Excellent. And our last question from the audience will be, who is your painting inspiration?
Schlep. Schluka Basta Bangos da Flush. La Shushka Ba Poop Gabuda Bangos.
While he feels like Rembrandt is brilliant and really makes some hot Rococo, he feels like the best is truly Michelangelo, because after living in the sewer for so many years, he has a darker perspective.
I get that. I get that. You're a joker, all right. Do you have any final thoughts to impart to us about painting?
Wa. Schlicken Schlup. Schlut. Da Kupala Schmavu.
He says, always be careful when you're painting that you don't accidentally teach yourself karate.
Excellent. Thank you. Wonderful. All right, let's bring our players back for a moment, and we will go back to our dice roller and rolling the die. 7. 7 is called Here They Come Now, and this is for all of our players except for me, but we're going to start with 2 people. So what's going to happen is first we'll need a suggestion of a place where 4 people could meet. Let's see if we got any suggestions already. A church dance. So we'll go with a church dance. And what's going to happen is we're going to have 2 of our players hanging out at a church dance, telling us about their friends. So I'm going to close my video, and we'll just have 2 people up and 2 people down for the moment. All right. church dance.
Okay. Oh,
Such a wonderful evening, isn't it?
it really has. I've really been looking forward to this all week. Really is nice to be here.
Oh yeah, I know. It's something. Yeah, I got to tell you, I invited I invited someone. I hope that's okay.
Oh, you did? Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, you see, I asked my friend Josh to come, and he's a character, I tell you.
Really? Really
yeah.
now? Huh?
I mean, like, first of all, when you want to greet him, like say his name,
Mhm.
he gets these hives. He just breaks out in hives. He's such a shy boy.
Really? Well, be
Yeah.
darned. Bless his heart. Okay. I can't make any promises. I love to say people's names. It's a good connection.
Yeah.
But
right.
now that I mention it, I am glad that you did that because I was a little bad too, and I invited somebody. Yeah. Yeah, it's my friend Mark. Just kind of no pressure type of thing, which is what these dancers are known for.
Right.
He's a rather good dude. There is one thing that I remember that when you clap your hands, for some reason he's compelled to look all around him. It looked kind of paranoid, a little odd. I'm not sure what happened when he was little, but every time you clap, that happens. So don't be alarmed.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the warning. There's a lot of clapping going on at a church dance.
That's one of the things I was nervous about. Yeah.
Right. I know. Well, that's funny because, all right, so my friend Josh, who's coming, he also has this thing where if you ever, if you, he hates it when people hum along with the music, if you find yourself humming along to the music, he might just he might start karate chopping the air.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Really?
So, just keep a good safe distance, leave room for Jesus, as they say.
Yeah, I'm extra glad that I took the holy martial arts Krav Maga. I think I can handle that. But boy, that's a good thing to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Krav
Wow.
Maga. Is that what you said? Krav Maga?
I only took one class, so they kind of breezed over the name. I think I got it. Might have to ask Pastor about that. Yeah.
I got you.
Look,
speaking of Josh,
just so that you know,
no.
and yeah, just so you know that
sorry.
Mark also he's got kind of a weird deal that whenever he's offered something to drink, offered something to drink, he likes to bark like a dog. It's very strange, but I think we can work past these just fine and have a good time. And I think, speaking of which, as you said, I think that was Josh. I think Mark is just coming around.
Come back here. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, it is them. Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
Tracy,
guys.
good to see you. Thanks so much for inviting me.
This is a nice place. I like it. It's very churchy.
Isn't it? I love it.
Yes. So, Josh, I was thinking that. I was thinking of asking you to what your opinions are of the library here at the church.
Wow, I have to say it's my first time here. I'm really, really impressed. I mean, I just walked in and I said, wow, that is such a great library.
Right.
Such a great place.
I just love it.
I love this one. I kind of felt the air move on that one. It's really good to see you, Josh. It really is.
Yeah, it's really, really great to see you too.
Sorry.
When I was in the library, I noticed there were a lot of Bibles.
Yeah, there really ought to be. I'm sorry, we're kind of bad invitees. You guys thirsty at all? You want some punch, Mark? Oh, that's right. maybe later. Maybe later. Okay. Just so nervous and glad to see you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know, it's so hard, you know.
University of Georgia, you know, so we bark when we get asked drinks, you know.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Absolutely. You're welcome, Josh. Yeah.
I think I might need a new glass. Sorry. I can.
Okay.
Mark, can I get you a glass of punch while I'm drinking?
It kind of gets the heart going. I'm hoping they play. I'm hoping they play some more like upbeat songs. Just not sure about the slow ones. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something like. Yeah. You know, something upbeat.
Yeah. Something like that. Something that really Mark and Josh can really dip their teeth into and love. You know.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And you know, they've got more than just punch here. You know, Mark, I could get you like a 7-Up. You like an RC Cola? Oh, sorry. Yeah, like a water. Okay.
And I may, depending on what Mark and Josh think later, but I think I may know where the key is to the communion wine.
For shame.
I know, it's really, it's wicked. It's delightfully wicked. It really is.
So scandalous.
Right, Josh?
Yes. Oh my goodness. But it is it is lovely to finally be here and just let loose and be ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
I know, right? I wish I want to put a request in, but I can't think of the name of the one. Maybe you know it. It goes like a
Josh, do you know this one?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I can't say I've ever heard it before.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. Mark, do you have any idea? Maybe I can get you something to refresh your memory and your esophagus. You know, would you like some lemonade?
All right, that's our game. Yeah, that was quite refreshing, like lemonade. All right,
Or RC Cola.
Back to our die roll. 19. 19 is panel of experts. So what I will need from the audience in the chat is some suggestions of some periodicals or actually quite a few things. We need like periodicals like a magazine or a website or a newspaper or something like that. We need an age, like the age of a person, not like the Renaissance. We need some kind of maybe movie genre, just some ideas like that. Let's get those. So go ahead and throw those suggestions in the chat. And the way this works is our players here are experts in something. And we did ask for some expert suggestions earlier, so I'm going to go back to those suggestions, and we got shrubbery. So everyone here is an expert on shrubbery, but they're all going to do it through the lens of a specific thing that we're getting suggestions for right now. So to get started, we have Ben is from Cat Fancy. You are you're representing the magazine Cat Fancy, but you are an expert in shrubbery. For Tracy, we're going to have you from the future. You're from the future telling us about shrubbery. Mark, you are representing Scientific American magazine. So that is your perspective. And for Josh, we've got Mom's Health. That's a magazine, I'm assuming. Or you could be talking about your mom's health, but you are an expert in shrubbery. So to get started, let's get an introduction from everybody, starting with our expert from Cat Fancy.
Yes, thank you. I am Trevor Leave Me Alonesby. Yes, I have been writing there for several odd years, and I have a specific interest and love and passion of knowledge of all things shrubbery. I'm very, very glad to be here.
Excellent. And our expert from the future.
Sorry, let me just remove my telepathic communications unit so I can communicate with you verbally. Quaint. Yes, I'm Zeta 12, and I'm here to tell you all about shrubbery from the great beyond, the future. Oh, the wonders you are to behold.
Well, thank you very much, Zeta 12. And we have an expert from Scientific American.
Well, I am Steve Horatio, and I am from Scientific American, where we talk about the science of shrubbery.
Excellent. And last, our expert from Mom's Health.
Hello, I am Prudence McNish, a mother of 16 and the editor-in-chief of Mom's Health magazine, where we talk about all things related to the health of everything that mothers care about. Of course, this includes children and pets, but also, of course, your shrubbery.
Excellent. So our first question here from the audience is, what's the best way to keep a shrub's shape? Let's start with our expert from the future, Zeta 12.
We found that the best way to keep a shrub shape in the future is we want our shrubs to have a lot of, we want them to take ownership of themselves, know that they have the control in themselves to be anything that they want. There are no limits to the shapes that they can become. And to control those shapes, they need a lot of positive reinforcement. We would constantly affirm the shrubs daily, if not more, that you are doing a spectacular job holding this particular shape. And if they should ever waver in their confidence and lose their shape, then they are, unfortunately, thrown to the prisons.
I see. All right. And we have Steve Horatio. Please tell us about the shape of shrubs.
Well, in a recent study out of East West New Jersey Community College, they found that most shrubbery are actually sentient, and it pains them greatly to be artificially shaped and injured. And it is just a terrible thing. You can actually hear them screaming in hypersonic recordings. So I would personally allow the shrubbery to take its own shape and not cruelly trim it.
All right, that's great to know. I personally have not shaped a shrub, but people do. So from Mom's Health magazine, we have Prudence. Please tell us.
Well, yes, it's actually wonderful when you have children around, once they're of age that they can handle shears. It's really excellent for them to go out in the yards and prune your shrubbery. They can actually take to it quite easily, and the fresh air and the pollen is actually quite nourishing. Billy, get that out of your nose. Drop that now. Sorry, as I was saying, the pollen is actually quite nourishing.
All right. And then back up to Cat Fancy. Trevor, please tell us more.
I found that the shrubbery shape, it is the duty of the owners. The owners, out of profound respect for their actual feline overlords. They serve the cats do not serve the owners. So if you wish to nurture their fanciness, their fluffiness, their ball of puff and adorableness, you must also nurture the predator and the beast within. They need visible lines and a nice cut, kept shrubbery. So out of respect and love, the owner will do so.
Great to know. All right. We have another question. How can I prevent my neighbor from eating my shrubbery? Let's start with Scientific American.
Well, in a recent study out of the bottom of the Missouri River University, they found that if you spray it with cayenne, not only does it prevent wild animals from eating it, but it also tastes better to your neighbors who might want to be eating it. So by not spraying it with cayenne pepper, you will slightly discourage your neighbors from eating your shrubbery.
All right, Mom's Health.
Yes. Well, the first thing you need to do is, Priscilla, get that goldfish out of your mouth. The first thing you need to do is to gently knock on your neighbor's door and remind them that most shrubbery are highly toxic and they should stop eating it. Or on second thought, just let them eat a little and this problem will take care of itself.
All right, Cat Fancy, same question.
A very common question on shrubbery, and it is a pain. I encourage all of the owners of the cats to learn from their cats that they are sleeping. They are on sleep duty. They have to maintain their perfection at all times. So you need to watch around the clock and learn how to arch your back, glare at someone, and hiss and spit, and that will generally prevent such an appalling image that most human beings will not want to come anywhere near your shrubs.
And our expert from the future.
Yes, where I come from in the distant future, it is a 3-strike system. Strike 1, you get a passive-aggressive meme. Strike 2, you get a telepathic warning to stop eating the shrubs. And upon strike 3, our Venusian overlords will melt you where you stand.
Oh, wow. That's pretty intense. We do have another question here. Do you know Roger the Shrubber? Let's hear from Mom's Health.
Oh, why, yes, Roger the Shrubber. He's kind of like the ice cream man, but for shrubs. He drives around the neighborhood in his little shrub-shaped van with the little dinging bells, and the kids will run up and Zeke, stop tormenting your sister. Do not cut any more of her hair. You can't afford more hair plugs. The kids will run up to the shrubber and he will give them little tiny shrubs to plant in the yard. It's really quite wonderful.
And how about you from Cat Fancy? Please tell us, do you know Roger the Shrubber?
I have heard rumors of the myth, the legend that is Rod the Shrubber. He is someone that is, for the most part, benevolent, a little bit odd. From what I can gather, the cats in the owner communities, they tolerate him and allow him to live.
I see. And in the future, do you know Roger the Shrubber?
Oh, do we ever? For you see, in the distant future, Roger the Shrubber is actually the very man that summoned the Venusians to our planet with his intricate shrubbery. It spelled out a message that they could see from space via our satellite photographs, and it said, "Hey, you dum-dums, I dare you to come here to our planet, but you won't because you smell so bad." And they took him up on it.
So Roger the Shrubber, wow. And
sassy
finally,
boy.
Yes, totally. Finally, from Scientific American, do you know Roger the Shrubber?
Oh, yes. I believe Robert Shrubber teaches astrophysics at the University of Iran in Newark.
I see. All right. Well, I mean, he's had a long and illustrious career before bringing upon the doom of the Venusian overlords. Finally, can you do you have any final thoughts, final words to leave us with about shrubbery? Starting with Cat Fancy, please.
respect your shrubbery. It is a very reflection of who you are and how you treat our feline overlords. Do your best to take care of them so that they do not contract cat scratch fever.
And from the future, Zeta 12?
Please, if I can impart anything to you, it is to honor, love, and support your shrubbery, because I'm afraid to break it to you, but it's the only plant life we have left in the future. Those tenacious shrubs, they really hung out there amidst all of the global turmoil. They're one tenacious little plant. So be good to them, they'll be good to you. And don't spell mean messages in them.
Oh, don't go changing the course of history.
You can't fault me for trying.
And Steve, please, from Scientific American, what is your final thought?
Well, I agree that shrubs are extremely resilient, and they can rub off nearly anything.
I see. I hear you. And then finally, from Mom's Health, please do share with us your final thoughts.
James, get your homework out of the garbage disposal. Right this minute. Right now. Shrubs are easier than children.
All right. That is our game. We will move on to our next game. Let's find out what that will be. Eight is first line, last line. And this will be for all of our players. And what's going to happen is, first of all, from our audience, let's hear a line of dialogue, a short one, not too long, that you may have heard recently, or that someone may have texted to you, something like that. And what's going to happen is, we're going to start our scene with that line of dialogue and begin doing a scene. And then at some point, someone's going to say something that another player is going to seize on, and they're going to say that line of dialogue, but change up the scene entirely to a brand new scene. And then we'll keep on doing that until we wrap all the way back down to the initial line. So our line is, your boots are on fire. So let's get just 2 people up and everyone else down. Your boots are on fire.
Right. Oh. Hey, your boots are on fire.
Thank you. Is that the new slang now? Are they? They're.
Yeah, I noticed the design, but I saw you stamped it out, which is good. But I think I'm using that right. It's the bomb. It's on fire. I think I used that right. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I study slang, so it's really something that I've been working on.
Oh.
It's really something that I've been working on.
Oh yeah.
That painting that you've been looking at for a long time is really something that I've been working on.
Oh, okay. So that is yours. That explains it. Okay. Wow. There's a lot of blue.
It is a lot of blue. I happen to really like the color blue.
It is very expressive. The sky is literally blue.
The sky is literally blue.
It really is. It's quite blue.
I mean, there's not a cloud in it. I don't think I've ever seen this color of blue in nature before.
I mean, it's kind of like a cross between a robin's egg and an electric.
The problem is I don't have the right colors in my palette to paint that shade of blue. Do you have some?
That shade.
Oh,
That shade. Can you, anybody, did you hear that? That shade? That girl? She just, oh, she does not like you.
Yeah, wow, that was a harsh line she pulled.
Right? I couldn't
Those
believe
things,
it.
honestly.
You just took it too.
Yeah, well, then I had to go hide in a corner and sulk for a minute. So sorry I disappeared there, but
I don't blame you. You know, it was, I mean, you burnt.
yeah, I mean, no one's ever told me that my eyes are like rotten eggs before.
No one's ever told me my eyes are like rotten eggs before.
I could just stare into them for hours, you know.
I appreciate it. As an existential poet, that is so moving to me.
And your hair is like burnt spaghetti.
And yours, like the fiery sun of a million planets that have been destroyed by the supernova.
And your cheek, it's like 1,000 asteroids belted the earth into pulverizing it into a million pieces, ending civilization forever.
Like an asteroid pulverized into a million pieces, ending civilization forever.
I know. When is this report coming out?
I think we have about 3 more days before the sun superheats the asteroid enough that it comes apart and smashes into the earth.
But our only option is to publish this into a quarterly journal.
Well, the review process takes a long time, so we better get started now, because is it just me or does it feel like it's already getting pretty hot?
It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot in here.
Sorry, I need to go get some water because it's so hot. I don't want to alarm you. I think there's some steam coming off of your back. I didn't realize that, like, when they said we were in a heat advisory, I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
I just figure sometimes when I'm nervous, I just kind of throw a bit of like eggs and stuff back there to kind of get them going just in case. But steam sounds bad.
Oh,
Steam sounds bad. I mean, you really think the steam, what water becomes when it's heated, is a viable power source?
yes, I just ran off to go crunch the numbers on that, and yes, it really is.
Baffling. You say trains may run on this magic steam.
Yes, in fact, they might, but we need to be very careful with it because it is really, really hot.
Indeed.
Like, I mean, we'll melt your feet hot.
You know what doesn't melt your feet? Horses.
Really? That's a very good point. We should.
I mean, what's wrong with the old stuff?
Yeah, why use our own feet anymore at all? We should just all ride horses all the time.
Yes, I agree.
Then we wouldn't even have to worry about our feet melting or our shoes catching ablaze, which, I don't mean to alarm you, but your boots are on fire.
Excellent. All right. At this point of the show, we're going to switch to our 4-sided die, and we're going to roll on our guessing game chart. So let's move on over to the die roller. We'll get rid of this here 20-sider, and we'll bring up a 4-sider, and we see number 4. And number 4 is interrogation. So what we need is one of our players to volunteer to be our guesser.
I could guess.
All right. So what Tracy is going to be guessing is we're going to put her in timeout to think about what she's done. And what she's done is, first of all, she's going to find out who she is, and she's going to find out who she killed, and she's going to find out where she hid the body. So we're going to put Tracy in our waiting room. Let's do that. Quickly figure that out. There we go. All right. So Tracy's in the waiting room and she does not have the stream up. So what we need from everybody is a celebrity in the audience. Please come up with a celebrity, but not like the first celebrity that you think of, kind of like the 4th, 5th, maybe 10th celebrity you think of. So no Donald Trumps, no Joe Bidens. Let's stay away from that entirely. Let's get like B-list, D-list celebrity. So, and then after that, once we get a few of those in the chat and we pick one, we're gonna need some. It's not who she killed, it's what she killed the person with, and we'll bring her back to let her know that. So we need unusual objects. Thank you, our big Canvas admin, for getting that straight. We need unusual objects, and then we'll need some landmarks. So we've got, I like David Spade. David Spade is who she is, all right? David Spade. And then we'll need some unusual objects. To get some really great suggestions out there. So objects and landmarks. All right, we've got a shoehorn. All right, so David Spade, and then killed somebody with a shoehorn, or she killed David Spade with a shoehorn, and then the landmark. I'm going to get this right by the next show, I promise you. And then the landmarks. I see Machu Picchu. Think you got that one? Machu Picchu. So we've got David Spade with a shoehorn hidden in Machu Picchu. All right. So who are our 2 interrogators? All right, we've got Ben and Josh as our interrogators. So Mark, you're going to be keep your microphone on because you'll be helping with the clapping, so that we get a little bit of clap when we're close and a big clap when we're right on. Okay. So we'll bring Tracy back, and I'll very quickly explain it's who she killed with what and where the body is hidden, because I did get that wrong. So let's bring her back. And to clarify, it's who you killed, with what, and where the body is, because I'm a great host, aren't I? Excellent. All right, interrogation.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks here. I know you're claiming up, but we're gonna get a confession out of you.
There's nothing to confess as far as I'm concerned.
Look,
Right off the bat, huh? Right off the bat, you're starting with something like that. You think you can just go out on a Saturday night and enjoy yourself, but not with people like her.
look, let's just call it what it is. I mean, it is what it is, right? You went and committed murder.
I mean, did I? Because I mean, seems like your job to know that.
Well, you look a little suspicious, right? Like, who's going to believe you're innocent? You are the black sheep of the family, right?
Rude.
Might be rude, but it's a way of getting down to the truth. We don't have the luxury of being polite when there's a dead body that we have to account for to the press.
Yeah, you know, his body's not even in the dirt yet.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It's it was just another Saturday night.
Well,
Yeah, it's quite ironic the way that was named, given how you left this particular person to be. Man, I didn't think you hated him that much.
in hindsight, it seems fairly obvious how much you hated him.
Fairly obvious, I would say. Crying out loud.
Look, I didn't think anyone would miss the guy, living in a van down by the river.
No,
And
no
the
hidden
mockery.
Yes.
It's Chris Farley, right?
Oh, Chris Farley's still very torn up about this.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I used to love putting myself in his shoes, facing the questions that he faced. I'm still not too sure what my favorite little rascal is. But he had to face that question. God bless that man. And you put him in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, who can pick a favorite little rascal? or
Listen here, Tommy, boy.
That's
I
name?
call all the suspects Tommy. It's just a quirk of mine. But
Mhm.
boy, you're in trouble.
I mean, David Spade, he had it coming. He just kept starring in those awful Netflix originals.
Well, glad you
see?
finally admitted that.
You see, I told you once it kind of loosens up and she starts to confess, she's really going to go all out with the justifications, really trying to make it fit in there, It's disgusting.
Yeah, you really, this is really, you went out on a limb here, but the way you did this, was really unexpected. Like you just had to shove this in there.
I'd like to think it was done a little more deftly than that. I mean, give me some credit.
Well, you might as well have teamed up with Nike and just stood on a corner and I did it like a crier, for crying out loud. I mean, no tact, seriously.
I mean, do you think that I could get corporate sponsorship for murder?
Oh, you won't get any corporate sponsorship. Everyone knows you're a heel.
Look, you work with what you've got, and I just happen to be wearing two shoes.
Yeah, and I wonder how you got them on. They look a little tight.
Oh, well.
It's almost like you rammed them in there. You rammed them in there,
Yeah, I mean, it took some work. They're such a, I have such delicate ankles. So, I can't wear certain kinds like high tops or, those knee-high boots.
I think we're getting off in the weeds here. I don't think we need to start talking about your personal footwear. I think we're on the right track. It's time to grab the bull by the, I don't know the rest of the expression, but grab the bull by whatever those things are that bulls have.
Oh, yeah, that's really the only way I can get into the knee-high boots is if I've got a good shoehorn on me.
Ha! Yeah, there you.
Aha! I told you that was connected. I thought that had some Spade stuff on it. I knew that was you. All right. You've admitted it. We just need to give some closure to the family and find out where you put them.
So, where is he?
I'm not just going to offer up that information to you. I mean, you'd think you'd already know if you had some evidence on me, something that could hold up in court.
Oh, the pile of evidence we have is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'll be speaking about this for years. And we didn't even, I don't think we'll have to, but if we have to resort to a little electric treatment, a little Pikachu, think a little whatever we got to do. I learned that from my kid, but we will do what we got to do to get the truth.
Look, now's not the time to act macho. We're going to get to the bottom of this. You're going to lead us to the bottom.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, when, you know what they say, like, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Pallet Town, find yourself a Pokemon Coliseum.
I suppose they might say that.
It's a
But
common
we're-
phrase.
We're a long way from there.
A long way from Pallet Town.
Very long way.
So the Johto region, then. That
It
was just
seemed like you were struggling for breath as you came in here. So kind of scratching my head about how you were able to get up there, really. It takes the strongest among us.
And then you somehow still had the strength to just alpaca his body in there.
Yeah.
Officers, I'm sorry, I need to interrupt for a second. The police mental health person is coming in soon, and she's going to want you to look at the Inca blots. Just peruse them all. Yeah. So if you're ready to do that after this interrogation, please do that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd love to stare at some, you know, I like to divine the shapes in them, you know, gives me a little mental breather, you know, from all of my work in the, you know, I do a lot of traveling, you know, spent some time in the, you know, ancient Aztec ruins.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt this this thrilling interrogation here. But
I've got slides if you want to see them.
Ben, it's time for our lunch break here. I got some great fruit today. I got this peach. You got something?
Me?
Oh no, you're not getting any food till you confess.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was real good. I know I got to watch with my diet. I don't want to leave my gut in ruins. It's a prized thing I got to take care of. But that peach does sound good when I feel better.
It's a serious, seriously large, hefty, maybe even macho one.
Macho peach. Yeah, it really
Oh
is.
yeah, I know. You love a nice macho peach. I had a delicious one when I went to Machu Picchu.
Ah,
Aha.
really now?
All right. Well, see.
No,
But I could also
Well,
name more regions in the Pokemon universe if you'd like.
I don't think that will be necessary.
Are you sure?
No, I think we just want to hear all together, hear everything from you.
If you insist. All right. You won me over with your mental boxing match you put me in here. Yeah, I killed David Spade with a shoehorn, and I went to great lengths to bury him in Machu Picchu.
All right.
Excellent. Great interrogation.
Goodbye now.
Very
Goodbye.
dastardly deed. To round out the night with our last game, we're going to stick with our four-sided die, but now we're going to roll on our quickfire games, and we will finish up with a quickfire game. So let's share our die. And rolling. Got another 4, but this is a different chart. So we will be playing a game called Love Lists. Love Lists, how this works. First of all, we'll need just any word at all in the chat from our audience, please. What we'll do is we'll take that word and one of us will start talking about how much we love that thing. We'll just ramble and rant and talk a lot about how much we love that thing. And at some point, a word is going to come up and another player is going to pop their video on and take that word and talk about how much they love that thing. And we'll just keep on going. We do not have to wrap back around, but if we do, bonus points. But in the meantime, we're just going to have some fun loving things because we love things. So we're going to start with sparkler. How much do we love a sparkler?
I love sparklers. I love them so much. They are my favorite kind of firework because they're not loud. They don't go far. They just stay in your hands. And I use them to make me feel like I'm Jubilee from the X-Men.
Jubilee from the X-Men is one of the most underrated characters ever to be in the X-Men. First off, she was one of the first Asian American characters. She did hang out at the mall, which was very current for that time period. And her powers were not as lame as people say they are, because like, yeah, I mean, if you could shoot fireworks out of your hands, wouldn't you? I mean, you can do all sorts of things. You can hang out with Wolverine. You can like run around. I don't know what the whole deal with Wolverine and his like young proteges was, but it was like a weird dynamic.
Young proteges. I love young proteges because you can kind of take the best of yourself and instill it into a mentee, and then they will take that stuff and make it even better. So a young protege is like the refined version of you and then some. That's amazing. And then you can teach them stuff like, you can teach them about fashion. You can teach them about accounting.
I love fashion because it helps us figure out what we should wear and how we should look in public, and allows us to really make a statement about who we are and what we think is important. And it catches people's attention. And it's so much better than walking around the street wearing a burlap sack and potatoes on your feet, which I guess would be a fashion statement.
Fashion statement. I really want to be able to make that emphatic statement. I want people to be able to see me on the streets and have an impact of, wow, who's that dude? I want to know more about that dude. Whatever it takes, if he's got a falcon or a cat or paintings galore at home, I want to know that guy.
Paintings galore. I would love to have paintings galore all over. I want my house to look like a museum, but like overcrowded, like somebody, like the curator's terrible. I want it to be well lit and poorly lit in different places. And I want to have works by all kind of people who nobody have heard of, and that I can just like tell people that they're famous and they won't know because they don't know that they don't know about like art, because like I can pretend like I know all the cool art. And so I'm going to just have paintings galore everywhere.
I love paintings everywhere, and I love doing painting. I like making art with finger paint and brush paint and painting houses, and I love putting colors on things and turning things that were one color into something totally different color.
Something totally different. I love something totally different. Like you get a choice and you get another choice, and then you say, you know what? Forget those choices. I want something totally different. And then you take something that they didn't even expect, and you get to have that thing, because to heck with everybody else's choices. You can just say column A, column B, I like column Z, and then go with that.
I love column Z. There's 25 columns before it in Microsoft Excel, but column Z is where you hide all the really good data. It's where the answers to life, the universe, and everything are. You just need to scroll over to column Z. Not enough people look out there. And sometimes you really need to search to find all the cool stuff. And you will find it there if you just look hard enough. You might have to zoom in a little. I love when I could just zoom in on
I love zooming in. It's a great way to take something that seems too small for you to appreciate and make it larger. It let me look at things very close without becoming incredibly and uncomfortably close to it. I can do this without straining my eyes. I love that zooming in is often done with a twisting motion on a camera, and it's very satisfying to be able to go twist and be closer to something.
Twists. I love twists. So you've got Twizzlers, which are twisted. You've got the dance, the twist. You've got the plot point in a story where it goes a total different way than you were expecting. You've got when you take chocolate and vanilla and it swirls like that. That's a twist.
Swirls. I love swirls. It's like oddly satisfying, you know, when two colors come together and they go in a pattern, and it like comes together, but it's like not completely together. It's not like homogeneous. It's still heterogeneous, but it's like swirled. So it's like in the process of going from one state to the other of two words that I memorized in elementary school. So when
Elementary school. I loved elementary school. There were things about it that on a daily basis, I had the wonder in my eyes, and it would be scratched from a library book, or a teacher that would take extra time, or even watching the weird kid eating glue in the corner. I learned everything with awe in my eyes. Wonderful to go out on the recess, the playground, and discover the world. I loved
the
elementary school.
playground. I love the playground. It's the best part about school. You get to be outside with your friends and do make believe, and there are slides and swings. Sometimes one of the swings is made out of a tire, or it was when I was a child. And on the playground, you can do pretend, like you can be the Ninja Turtles, or you can be the cast of Full House, which is a thing I did. And the playground, you can also trade X-Men cards with your friends. The playground also has a lot of gravel, or sometimes wood chips, or for babies, just like nice padding.
Nice padding. I like the fact that I have nice padding. It's in all of the places that would be against other things, so it pads me so I'm not hurt by those things. So if I fall down on my butt, no problem. Nice padding. And also, like, when I go to bed, I'm comfortable because there's padding on my bed pushing back against my nice padding. So I really enjoy that, and I enjoy being comfortable. And I also enjoy that people can hug me and they feel like I'm not too angular or pokey, that I'm just well padded, and that just makes me happy. And at any point,
Making me happy. I love making me happy. I'm not great at it, but when other people are, it's the best. Making me happy is a great sharp turn from a great sharp turn from
sharp turns. I love sharp turns because if you take a gradual turn, then you don't feel like the G-force as it pushes you against the side of the car, and then the car almost turns over.
I love G-force. It's some people may know it as Battle of the Planets. It goes by a lot of names in anime, but it's a fun grouping of anime heroes and giant robots. I think that might be all anime.
Robots. I love giant robots. They're so much better than small robots. Like that one that like was able to do backflips and stuff was really cool. I'm afraid they're going to take over the world someday, but that'll probably be fine because giant robots are just awesome. And I would think that we'll just all be ruled by our benevolent giant overlord, giant robots someday, and the world will be better for it.
Benevolent overlords. I love benevolent overlords. If you're gonna have an overlord, that's the best one to have. Benevolent overlords, they always make sure that you got food on the table. You're constantly working, which is great. It keeps you occupied.
I love constantly working all the time, 24 hours a day. It's just work, 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 work. There's no time for food or sleep or resting or entertainment.
Resting. I love resting. I love spending time with my padding, being comfortable and not working, and instead just regrouping.
I love not working. If I had the option, I would never work. I'm not working today, and it's great. And I won't work tomorrow either. When you're not working, you get to just relax, and no one's looking over your shoulder. Nobody expects anything of you, and you get a lot more reading done.
Reading. I love reading. The worlds that open up to you are so much more interesting than this one that we're trapped in. You can go from wherever
This
you're
one that
at.
we're trapped in. This game has gone on too long, and as a host, I'm going to end it here. So, thank you to everybody. Let's bring everybody back on screen, and we'll introduce ourselves one last time. I'm Jess.
I'm Josh.
I'm Mark.
I'm Ben.
I'm Tracy.
And we are Roll the Dice at Big Canvas. There's information in the chat about more Big Canvas stuff, and we hope that you can join us again. We are playing on the 23rd again on Zoom, on YouTube, and we hope to see you in the chat again then. Thank you very much, everyone.